What on earth has gone wrong with EasyJet, and how much continued chaos is there going to be?
Yeah, so they suffered this IT glitch or IT outage yesterday, and that's a core part of their infrastructure. It's like the backbone of the airline operation, so it affected all aspects, and 200 flights were cancelled. However, it's a small part of their whole route network. They fly 1,600 flights a day. However, it is really hard for those passengers, some of whom only found out a few minutes before boarding yesterday. And it's a little bit unusual for EasyJet. I mean, British Airways is the one that tends to suffer these big outages, and EasyJet's got a slightly cleaner record. But, the whole of the industry is still in a really bad way, the aviation sector particularly. And coming out of these lockdowns and restrictions, EasyJet suffered a lot of staff sickness as well a month ago. So, if it's not one thing, then it's the other.
We've already had this from Robert, who's one of our GB viewers, saying we are booked on an EasyJet in 3 weeks' time from Belfast to Gatwick and then onwards to Jamaica. If we miss a connecting flight because of EasyJet cancellations, are they legally bound to get us to our destination?
Absolutely. They are absolutely legally bound to get you to your destination. No ifs, no buts, and it's enshrined in law. So you definitely, in reality, the experience on the ground can be sometimes shambolic, but you need to stick to that, to be aware of that. And you can, for example, you should be offered an alternative flight to your destination if there's one available on another airline, for example, on the same day. And if the flight is delayed, for example, overnight, they have to put you up in a hotel and cover reasonable expenses as well. All the information is with the regulator on their website, the Civil Aviation Authority, that's caa.co.uk. And I mean, there's some good news coming down the line, because this week the government announced that it would be strengthening the rights for consumers and passengers with a new passenger charter, which it's launching by the end of this year. So that should also give passengers a lot more awareness of their rights and a better pathway to navigate.
Yeah, and I'm told, Sally, just finally, that if you do need to apply for when it comes to compensation, you need to apply for it. It doesn't come automatically.
Well, it should. And I mean, it should in an ideal world. And to EasyJet's credit, they do have what's called a disruption help hub on their website, for example, and they should make themselves available. But what happens is there's usually a deluge of demand from customers that have been affected, and that tends to clog up, their resources responding. It shouldn't be that way, but it often is. So yes, it is really good to be aware of your rights, and you might, for example, have to book your own hotel, worst case scenario, but make sure you keep evidence of everything, like receipts and so forth, and that you pursue it if you have to afterwards.